Hello, I am here with Andrea Sikora to discuss her article, MRC-ICU Investigator Team, Impact of Pharmacists to Improve Patient Care in the Critically Ill, a large multi-center analysis using meaningful metrics with the medication regimen Complexity-ICU, MRC-ICU score, which has been awarded the Literature Award for Pharmacy Practice Research. This research used a complexity score. Can you talk about this tool's development?
Yes. So this was a tool that I developed back in 2016. I had this idea that I wanted to be able to quantify how complex an ICU patient's regimen was, because I kept having conversations where one of the other pharmacists would say, I think my unit's sicker. And I was like, I don't know if they are sicker, because I feel like I'm pretty busy too. But it really started to make me think about what does it mean to be sick? What does it mean to be busy as a pharmacist? How can we think about this more objectively? So the idea came up through an awesome resident named Morgan Gwynn, who found another paper called the MRC-I, which is used for the community pharmacy setting. And with that score, they used, from a patient's perspective, liquids versus tablets, how many times a day, different stuff like that. And we thought, okay, we're going to do this from a pharmacist's perspective. So we did a literature search. I used some different kind of high priority medication lists from places that I had worked in terms of like what pharmacists monitor. And then we used a kind of a scoring and a inter-rater type validation, all these different steps to kind of come up with the different points that you see. So
based upon this research, what are the implications for the pharmacy workforce?
This is a very important paper in terms of critical care pharmacists, because it was the first that showed that workload might affect patient outcomes. So the idea that we can link a critical care pharmacist workload to patient outcomes, that is never been done before for an ICU pharmacist, but it has been done for ICU physicians and ICU nurses. And so I think that this is an important step for us, that it's not just that you have a pharmacist that's, somewhere on staff, and that looks at ICU patients, but truly, what are you asking that patient to do, or what that pharmacist to do every day? I also think that the score itself has a lot of potential for how it can be used for us to discuss different practice models. Because what you'll hear about is my patients are sicker, or this institution is complex, or we're bigger, or this is our patient population. And that's why we have to do it this way. And it's hard to compare, in their opinion, apples to oranges. Whereas I think that the MRC score has the ability to kind of level that playing field. So if you say, hey, on average, this is what your MRC score is for your ICU patients, this is your SOFA score, your Apache score, I think that starts to say, hey, we actually can maybe make some meaningful comparisons between different practice models. And I think that is a really important direction that we need to explore.
Well, congratulations to you, Andrea. It was a pleasure speaking with you and learning about your great work.
Thank you.